Welcome
You finally made it.
to the editing curriculum.
To the editor. Okay, so even though you're taking this course while the director and the producer and the cinematographer and everybody else are taking their courses, your job really won't come into being until they're done with theirs, right? But we want to talk to you and get you started in the idea of what it means to edit a film. Now, obviously, editing really is about taking a mass of footage and taking the selects, the best of each little piece, and putting it together in a way that tells the story.
Well, and hopefully, the fact that you're going through the curriculum now before you have any footage for them or from them, you can actually communicate to your producer and your director and your cinematographer the things that you're going to need to make your life easier.
Right.
Right?
Sure.
It's all, your post-production.
Hopefully they know from their courses.
Well,
but if they don't.
But the more organized you have them on set, the better you're going to be when it all comes down onto your desk.
Yeah, so at some point, all this footage is going to fall in your lap. And you're going to be responsible for ingesting it into the computer, because that's hopefully what you're using is computers. You're not shooting on film, old Steinbecks. You get it into the machine, and you get it all synced up with the sound, and off you go, right? More importantly than what software you use, because we don't teach you how to make a cut. It's just...
We don't teach you what buttons to push to make the cut.
There's a million tutorials out there on the web that will do that for you, if that's what you're interested in. And they're all good. But the truth is, what we try and teach you is why to make that cut. That's what's truly important. That's what everybody's missing out on. It's not important about how to cut things. It's important to know about when and why to cut things.
And if you can learn that,
oh man,
you've
done it.
Are worth your weight in gold.
There's very few good editors. Like, I don't know how many editors. We went through editor after editor, probably on every project, trying different editors, until we finally found one that was truly talented.
Yeah.
And now he wants to be a director. So, trying to find a good writer and a good editor, those are two really tough things. I don't know why that is, to be honest with you, because it seems like that would be something that a lot of people would want to be an editor, but there's just
it's a hard job.
So few good ones out there.
Yeah.
And it's not about just snip, 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 putting things together and look, oh, it goes together. There's pacing, there's storytelling, there's just so much that goes into being a great editor.
Well, and if I could give one piece of advice, and you're going to get lots of advice throughout the curriculum, but of the films that we see coming in from our young filmmakers,
I know where you're going. Yeah.
Your heads and your tails of your cuts.
Right. Meaning the start, little piece at the first and a little piece at the end. Yeah.
Trim those off. Like you don't have to see
every single student film that comes in. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
The head and tail. Someone gets out of a car. Right. We're filming a guy. Guy pulls up, gets out of a car, shuts the door, and goes to the door, knocks on the door. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen so many of these, and they will film the whole thing. The car shows up, the guy gets out, the door closes.
You don't need it all.
You don't. The guy pulls up, cut to the door. We know where he's going. There's no need to show him get out unless he's got a broken leg or he's hauling something with him that you want to show. If it's just about him going from the car to the door, car pulls up, turns off. You could even have him open the door.
Yeah.
And shut it, and then cut to the front door where they're knocking on the door.
Just stay ahead.
Trim it down.
Stay ahead of your audience. As an editor, stay ahead of the audience.
I mean, that means, like, describe what that means.
Well, I mean, it's just with what you were describing there.
Right.
They're opening the door. You don't have to. The audience knows that you're going to walk from the door to the front door. Stay ahead of the audience. Cut it. Get it there so that they're anticipating what's going to be happening.
The last thing you want is the audience going like this. Because if they're looking at their phones, if they're looking at their watch or they're looking at their phones, because you're not engaging the audience, they're getting bored. It's so hard to get an audience back. Once they're watching your movie, that's great. If you lose them, it's very difficult to get them back. So just stay ahead of your audience. Make sure you're not boring the audience. And trust me when I tell you, not everything you do is funny or cool and needs to be captured. snip those heads and tails off, and then see if that doesn't make your film shorter, more interesting to watch, and just generally better.